Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear my voice? Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Citra Septiani. I come from Indonesia and I studied Master of Research in Newcastle University about marine ecosystem and governance. So I just finished my master and gradually I will come back to Indonesia tomorrow. Yeah. It's lovely to be here today to sharing my research about the socio-ecological modeling on seagrass ecosystem in Sangihe Islands, Indonesia. So during my master, I went home. I want to go back to Indonesia to do the field work in the past 6 months, and then I come back here to finish it. Okay, lovely. Of this research supervised by Clive Fishman and Steve Rutten from School of Natural and Environmental Science, and also a part of the collaboration with the national NGO there, with name is YPK. Okay. Yeah, so seagrass meadow are one of the most productive ecosystems in the sea, which support human food resources and providing habitat for many marine animals. And its nursery habitat, seagrass provides shelter, food, protection from predators. And healthy seagrass meadow ensure that juvenile animals can grow faster and have higher survival rates. Not also that, seagrass also support marine biodiversity, include the charismatic species such as shark, and then dugong, and also seahorse and sea turtles. And in the social system, seagrass support fisheries activities for human food and livelihood, and also because of livelihood are tightly coupled to marine ecosystem, local resources have uncertain incomes, and then many of them are in frequent poverty. And seagrass ecosystem here is close to the shore and easier to access, which means that the human activities can threaten the seagrass. And we also found the fact that 60% of protein consumed by humans in global comes from the sea. And we know that most of global seagrass meadows are unmapped and then vulnerable and also in critical declines due to the septic environmental condition. And in 2016, the governments, NGO, and local communities developed a community-based marine protected areas to restore fisheries and then seagrass as dugong habitat in Sangihe Islands, located in Bukide Timur, Bukide, Nusa, and Batuingkuk village. This one is the map. I will show you later. However, there's one MPAs in there in Nusa village is failed because the lack of management and low rates of enforcement, and also low community awareness. In Sangihe Island, most of the coastal community dominated by the small-scale fisher who fish and glean in the intertidal seagrass meadow. The small-scale fishery is a harvesting activity performed with low technology, self-employed, targeting a wide range of species and use the diverse gears and fishing methods. While the invertebrate gleaning is a walking fishery on intertidal seagrass meadow during the low tide. Usually they collected the invertebrate there. And seagrass ecosystem in Sangihe Island is essential habitat for vulnerable species such as dugong. That's the dugong, and this one is a picture from the community there. So understanding the link between socio-ecological in marine ecosystem is really essential, like seagrass, because the data is still lacking and community dependence on the natural resources are really high. And we found that there's no literature yet in there, and so seagrass have a lot of ecosystem services, and here we focus on the dugong habitat, fish habitat, and the fishing. So the aim of this research is to support better marine management for coastal communities whose livelihood depend on the marine resources while ensuring the conservation for globally threatened species such as dugong. By understanding the interaction between local communities, threatened species, seagrass ecosystem, and the community-based marine protected areas using the statistical ecological modeling. So here, I will show you where is the Sangihe Island. It's a tiny island located in Indonesia. This is Indonesian. So it's located in the north part of the Sulawesi Island. Sulawesi Island is here. Sulawesi Island is here and is located in the north part of Sulawesi to the south of the Philippines. And this is the map of the Sangihe Islands, and we have 4 locations which divided into the managed areas and unmanaged areas. This one, Batuingkung and Bukit Timur have the community-based MPAs. However, in Nusa and Palareng have no MPAs. The Nusa that I said before, Nusa has the ex-MPAs which no longer exist now. So for the data collection, we use the household survey to collect the fisheries activities and local communities' perspective on the community-based MPAs and then seagrass ecosystem and dugong population. We do the opportunistic sampling to seagrass fisher, and in total we have 120 respondents. And we also did the key informant interview targeting the local MPA manager, village leader, NGO, and local and regional government. This is used the open-ended question to understand the community-based MPAs. The main object, we asked them about the perception of seagrass health and then MPA management and the decision-making and stakeholder involvement. And we also use the intertidal fixed transect site from Seagrass Watch methods to study the seagrass coverage for the ecological system. Okay, this is for the data analysis because the title is about the modeling. So we use the linear mixed effect model or LMA to observe the gleaning and fishing activities on seagrass meadow. And also we use the generalized linear mixed effect model or GLMM to describe the effect of the environmental variables on seagrass coverage and also the drivers which influence the dugong population. And we also use the INFIFO to quote the qualitative variable of the key informant interview. And for the main model, we use the structural equation modeling to analyze the interaction between observed and latent variable. So this is the result. The fisheries activities on seagrass ecosystem mainly they are mainly to the spear gun fishing, sei net fishing, handline fishing, and invertebrate gleaning. However, the most higher fishing intensity are in Batuingkung village, and also for the invertebrate gleaning are from Palareng village and also the Batuingkung village here in the number. And we found that fishing on seagrass ecosystem mostly done by the fisher for the both livelihood and for daily food. However, for the gleaning, people there just do the gleaning just for the daily food mainly. And this one is about the relationship between observed variable in fishing and gleaning activities. And we can see here that some gear types have the negative correlation with the seagrass and also on the coral reef. However, the number is higher in the seagrass because some of the gear types, some of certain gear type used on the seagrass, but for the coral reef they have the general gear types, something like that. And then the coral reef have also strong positive correlation to seagrass because they are connected ecosystems. So fisher in Sangihe Island use both seagrass and coral reef for fishing. And also here we can see that hours per trip has the positive influence to the gear types because several gear types are used for certain time, like spear gun fishing usually do for like 4 hours, but for the sei net fishing is more than that. And then we can see that the catch diversity has in the influence for the gear types here in the number positive correlation because like particular gear types can be used to catch the several type of the invertebrate animals. And this one is for the seagrass health. we found 11 species of seagrass in Sangihe, which are here, and we found that in Batuingkung village, the black one is for the managed area, and the gray one is for the unmanaged area. So we found that, but in Batuingkung have the higher seagrass cover, followed by Palareng, Nusa, and Bukit Timur here. However, the seagrass cover not just only influenced by the management in place, like the MPAs, no MPAs, something like that, but also influenced by the distance from the shore, and then the type of the sediment and the transect lines, which why in Bukit Timur, which has the MPAs, has the lowest seagrass cover, because the distance is in average shorter than the others. And for the second graph is about the local ecological knowledge on seagrass change compared to 5 years ago. So we asked them, the fisher, how they feel the seagrass it increase or decrease. So most of the fisher in the managed area say that seagrass are increasing. But for the unmanaged area, most of them say that they didn't know about the knowledge about the seagrass change. And from the local, we also quotes from the director of the local NGO there, said that seagrass can improve by limiting the human activities on seagrass bed and making routes and artificial anchorage for the boats. And this one is for the community-based marine protected area there. So the MPAs there are initiated by the local and national NGO, which are the name of NGO is Sampiri and Yapeka, together with local communities and authorities. Then they use the community and multi-stakeholder participatory, which is benefit the sustainability of the MPAs, and because it's as well accepted and well accommodated on the village program. And these MPA there are augment the livelihood for local communities by increasing the fish stock and through the development of the tourism. And in the no-take zone, they restrict to fishing, tourism, and motorized boat operation, mangrove cutting, and removal coral, but like other activities like such as research, patrolling, and rowing boat are still allowed. And they also all the village, not all of them are the no-take zone, but they still have like sustainable fisheries zones, which people can still fish there. But however, they prohibited to use the destructive fishing gear such as foam, poison, or the compressor. And people who violate the rules will be warned, fined, and have the gear confiscated. And we've also quote a lot of good quotes from the K-Informant, like Batuingkung village leaders say that nowadays people in Batuingkung educate and remind each other to protect their marine ecosystem. And in Nusa, village leaders said that people are destroyed mooring buoys and break the rules as it's caused by the change of the village leader. And in Bukit Timur, village staff said that there is no funding to provide like a boat for patrolling activities within the MPAs. And we also quote from the director of the Sampiri, if local communities are creative, they can develop the MPAs to tourism, because it is hard to develop the other management measurement if people could not directly benefit from the MPAs. So like community-based MPAs need the people there, need the participatory of the people, and the people need to know what is the direct benefit of the MPA, so they will sustain the MPAs. And for the dugong population, this one, the first graph is about the perception of dugong population change. The black one is still the managed for the managed area, and the gray one is for the unmanaged area. So most of them say that dugong are increasing since 5 years ago, since the creation of the MPAs, and also the number of dugong sighting are very high for the several times. Like people will say that dugong increasing because they see dugong much more like now compared to 5 years ago. And We also found that the number of dugong bycatch are decreasing, especially in the managed area in past 2 years. And however, in unmanaged area, they still found the dugong bycatch. And people in the managed area have less experience to eat dugong meat. So nowadays, people in there are no longer eat the dugong meat. And in this MPS, the NGO used the term dugong as flagship species, not just to protect the dugong, but also increase the management effort regarding the MPS. So the project was resulting a high community awareness on dugong population, which is vital in the dugong conservation effort. And using the GLM, we found that the frequency of dugong sighting and the habitat, both seagrass and deep water, was significantly correlated to the perception of the population change mentioned by the respondent. And this one is the main model that we built. So, to link the socio-ecological system in seagrass, we create the fisheries activities and community-based MPAs for the social system, and we also have the seagrass health and dugong population for the ecological system. And from this model, you can see the high path is the strong correlation between one object to each other. And for this model, we found that this model is really fit using the degree of freedom and the chi-square, and we also use the goodness of the model to using the CFI and the TLI, which in the number needs to above the 0.9. And we also measure the badness of the fit of the model using our MC and the SRMR, which the number needs to below 0.01. So, 0.1. So this model is good. So I will talk about this model later. I'm sorry, after this I will have like a lot of text because English is not my first language, so I'm sorry. Yeah. So small-scale fisheries activities on seagrass ecosystem the model showed a positive correlation, revealing that gender involvement will increase the fisheries activities, impacting the household livelihood and food security. And the length of the gleaning also show a positive correlation, as it will increase the intensity of the fisheries activity on seagrass. And our model, that one, the whole model supports a study from Kleiber in 2015, which found that gender is really essential variable for social aspect for the fisheries activities, including the livelihood and food security. And however, we found a weak correlation between fishing variables, which are gear type, the number of the gear owned by fisher, and the total hours of the fishing trip daily, because this model only focus on the seagrass ecosystem, which have limited variation compared to the other ecosystems such as the coral reef or the deeper water. And however, both fishing and gleaning reveal a moderate negative correlation to seagrass health, such as the key informant believe that seagrass activities, which are seine fishing and boat traffic, can damage the seagrass. And our model also uncover a high local awareness of the willingness to protect the ecosystem that positively impact the fisheries activities in Sanghi Islands. And the local communities now are being more careful and aware, as they left the unsustainable fishing gears the years ago, which is believed why seagrass and the animal assemblies can improve over time. And for the community-based MPAs, can improve livelihood, food security, and seagrass ecosystem. So we found achievement of the MPAs is clearly stated on the model, where the MPAs are strongly correlated to improving local livelihood and then increasing fish stock and the willingness to protect the ecosystem. And MPS in our study seems to be successful, as local people now are begin to manage their fisheries activities to allow the ecosystem to recover. Comparing the success and failed MPAs in Sangye, MPAs require a combination of the effective management and conservation framework and also the maintenance of the local livelihood and the governance system that allows community participation and in their decision process. Like Batuingkung MPA manager said that people now catch more fish around the nearby village as the benefit of the MPAs. And MPAs in Sangye Island also show a positive correlation on the impact on the seagrass health because MPAs are the most efficient tool to prevent the seagrass loss by managing the fishing activities and indirectly protecting the sea urchin predatory species. And to monitor and assess the success of the MPA management, the community participation and institution form and the law pass are still monitored in Batuingkung and Bukit Timur, which they still have the MPA now. However, in Nusa, there was no community participation to sustain the institution form and people are breaking the law. So, why dugong became a flagship species is important in terms of sustainable and conservation effort. The dugong habitat conservation has been used since the creation of the MPAs, and the model also show a high positive correlation between community-based MPAs and the dugong population. Dugong population is believed to increase as their habitat are protected. And fisheries activities negatively impact the dugong population, but the correlation is weak because no respondent said that hunted or eat dugong in the last 5 years ago, and there is a decrease on the dugong bycatch in 2 years. And we found that dugong as flagship species paradisem is one of the strategy for conservation effort and marketing campaigns where charismatic megafauna is often chosen. And the frequency of the dugong sighting, especially in seagrass ecosystems, show a weak correlation on the dugong population, as dugong use many habitats, not just the seagrass, but also the coral reef and deeper water. But seagrass is the main habitat because dugong eat seagrass. And we found a higher dugong sighting on the outside MPAs, and the distribution was spread around the nearer village. And this model also have a clear evidence to stakeholder and policymakers because the importance of dugong as flagship species to increase the dugong conservation effort and to support the management of the MPAs. So the government, NGO, and the local communities should connect all the village around the dugong spreading areas to enhance the conservation effort. And the last is about how our model can support the better marine management. So community awareness is a vital component to the success of the MPAs, which stakeholder and the government need to increase during the establishment of the MPA. And to increase the community awareness, they can do the environmental education, which is a big step to transferring knowledge to people. And nowadays, local people believe that there will be no fish if there is no MPA. This quote is spreading around the respondents, so this is good to establish the MPAs. And since the establishment of the MPAs, local people are willing to protect their ecosystem, which is directly impacting the sustainable of the small-scale fishery in Sangye. And our models also show the MPAs can maintain the seagrass health and significantly protect the vulnerable species dugong-dugong. And we also suggest that using the flagship species term to give more benefit for the strategy for the conservation effort and the marketing campaigns. It's very benefit for the successful of the MPAs. However, the main challenge faced by the MPA manager now is the limited funding. But the best solution given by the local NGO are integrating the MPAs management to the village level program, so they can use the village funding to fund the MPAs. And our model also proves the benefit of the community-based MPAs for seagrass habitat protection, sustaining local fisheries, and dugong conservation effort in Sangye waters. Okay, we found the conclusion now. So this study described the interaction between local communities and their natural system in Sangihe Islands for the first time. And fishers who depend on marine resource for livelihood and food security are strongly connected to the seagrass meadow, which are the nearest resource providing ecosystem. And NGO, local communities, and authorities established the community-based MPAs in several villages in Sangihe Islands, using dugong as a flagship species for the conservation strategy and marketing campaigns. And we've also found that community-based MPAs achieve their goal to restore fisheries activities and dugong habitat, as it's really proven on the model finding. And for this socio-ecological model on seagrass ecosystem gives a better understanding on how each variable will impact each other and should be integrated into all government and stakeholder movement. And we also recommend to consider a gender involvement in any seagrass fisheries management, as it's proven essential in our finding. And last, we also propose to using the flagship species paradigm and then incorporating community participation and increasing local awareness to achieve the conservation and management goals of the community-based MPAs. Okay, this research is funded by Newcastle University, YPK, and Lembaga Pengelola Dana Indonesia, which are my scholarship. And we also thanks to YPK, Sampiri, and local communities and authorities of the on the research location which support the fieldwork. So I did the fieldwork for 3 months. Yeah, I live with the village. In the village, I live in village, and with the fisher family. It's so lovely. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. Terima kasih. Yeah.